GM, Fox fam. Welcome to another governance call, our weekly governance calls. This is number 31. Thanks, I want to give a big BD to the Smith and the rest of our LATAM team over in E3 right now. Hope they're having a good time repping the Fox fam, and I haven't been able to check out his talk yet, but I hope to be able to find a replay of it soon. But we did get a nice main stage spot there. So thanks for all of the Foxes out there in Rio right now for repping us. You're doing a great job, and we appreciate it. So if this is your first time joining us for a governance call, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping beforehand. There is a ShapeShiftDAO stage chat. And inside there, that's going to be the place that if you've got questions about what's going on or things that you'd like to comment about the proposals that you hear in this call, that's the best first place to start typing out your questions or concerns. We'll get to them as we go throughout the call. We can also bring you up here on the stage if you'd like to speak about something. And we will be going through our proposals that passed, things that are active, as well as things that are in the forum post as well, and have a little bit of time to talk about each individual item. So yeah, we've got 5 or 6 that just passed. It was a big week of voting, and we don't actually have anything current to vote on right now, but we do have some things that just started brewing in the forum. So this may be a little bit of a shorter governance call, we'll see. So yeah. Getting right into it, we've got the first pass proposal is Diggy as our product and creative services workstream leader. Technically, we had Diggy come up on stage last week and talk about this. It passed like 3 hours after our last one, so I don't feel like I need to drag her up here again. You have seen the work that she does with the rest of the product workstream, and they host some very entertaining product office hour as well. So feel free to follow up with product in any of their channels or the product roadmap to see what's going on there. And thank you, Diggy, for all that you do for the product team. Up next, we've got the Umee, Juno, and Terra validators that are going to be operated by TaxiStake on behalf of the ShapeShiftDAO. And this one passed just a couple of days ago, but with some great unanimous support of 6.51 million votes. Marley, do you want to come up on stage and give some updates about where we are with this, or where you are with this, and what we can expect?
Yeah, so it's been renamed to ShapeShiftDAO. It's seen an increase in delegation since then. I can quantify that tomorrow. And LPX built a really cool auto compound tool. So we've seen actually a lot of growth come from that tool specifically. So got some numbers in the Validators channel if you really want to go read about it, or you can ask me. So that one's growing. The other 2 are in R&D mode, waiting on some stuff at our data center to be built out. And yeah, also on the same vein, I've seen about a 75% increase in osmosis delegations in the past week, which is amazing. So it went from like 600,000 to almost 1 million Osmo delegated to the ShapeShift validator. I think that's because of liquid staking went live. So that's just like I don't know, it seems like a good place to give that kind of awesome update. And we'll start to see those rewards trickle in. But yeah, I think that's all I got. I'm really excited to have another one go through.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you for that mention of the Validators channel. It's a great place for anyone who's wanting to follow up on this. If there was like someone out here who has some of these IBC tokens, but is not really familiar with how they can get them to stake to validate with you, what's the easiest and best place for any of the Foxes on the call to be able to join in on this?
Yeah, great question. Kepler wallet is currently the best. I think that I might have missed the last GonaGo on Cosmos, but it's getting very close. So Cosmos and Osmosis, staking in app.shapeshift.com is coming. I will let engineering talk about that more, or I guess ops. Tyler might know better than me. So I would love to say that it'll be at shapeshift.com would be the best way very soon. And I've looked through the repos and stuff, and I think adding Umee should be extremely fast as well, just because it's like another Cosmos fork. So I'm really excited about that. I've been typing that over in their community actually.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a GonaGo kind of ongoing right now for the Osmos work, but the staking and kind of that investor set of tools is not scoped in the first round of GonaGo. So we have a second round that will be a fast follow of all of those features. I don't think that there's any ETA set on that, but it should be just a sprint or two after we launch the Osmos stuff.
Love to hear it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all your hard work. Thanks for allowing us to be in the position that we can to be as supportive of all these other chains. And it's super great to have this revenue stream be something that's kind of becoming the backbone of the DAO. So we appreciate all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you, GM.
Mm-hmm. GM, sir. And we will have LPX up here a little bit later to talk about his forum post, and we'll get a little bit more of a deep dive in on that IBC auto compounding tool that he built. But we will have more on that in just a little bit. Next, we have SCP-67, which was an addendum to SCP-52, which was adding an additional role so we could get Lindsey Liu onto the growth team. I know we've had Hunt come up here and talk a little bit. We haven't actually heard from Lindsey herself, and now that this is passed, maybe it would be good to, I don't know if you have a mic, Lindsey, or if you're comfortable speaking, just say, hey, and GM to the rest of the Foxchain here. Good to have you.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. It's been a minute. I'm so happy that you're back with the DAO.
I am very happy to be here. I'm so excited, and I want to thank everybody who voted for the proposal. It's been busy. I just wanted to share, we have a lot going on already. Working on a few launches. We've got the gem launch, which I'm working on a blog and a Medium post for that. The success token launch, which might happen next week. We're waiting on approvals for that. The auction that we have going on for the NFT by Lunahawk and Gray Machine. And I'm working on a blog for Kent's Ethereal Summit and a 3-part blog series. I'm working with marketing on that. And working with Kent on potentially submitting a Decrypt opinion piece. He's got some good connections there that he's been working with. So we're going to try and leverage that inroad there. And I've set up our commentary platform. And so we're going to be doing a pitch for US News and World Report and looking for other opportunities. So a lot going on. Some of it's just setting up the infrastructure, and a lot of it's just getting moving and warming up our media contacts for some of these pitches that are going on, and then just starting some rich content. So that's what's going on now.
Hitting the ground running. I can't believe you already have that many things cooking already. So thank you so much for steering all of those things and being a part of it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in real quick and just say, we're super happy to have Lindsey on the work stream. And as you kind of heard, like that long list, she's hitting the ground running in terms of a bunch on her plate already, and she even started working a little bit before the proposal even passed for us. So we really appreciated that. We passed with over 5 million votes. So, we wanted her on the stream. It seems like the community wanted her as well. And, nothing but great things ahead, as you heard. So it's been a week and a half, or not even, and we already have that much stuff that's in the works. So can't wait to see what we accomplish, for the rest of the stream.
Yes, awesome. Thanks, Toasty. Thanks, Lindsey. We'll keep piling up all the work so you guys can keep telling the world about it for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to our next item, we've got SCP-68, Foxchain, the Coinbase Cloud support proposal. So this one we've had a whole bunch of AMAs and calls and chats about. And there's been a whole bunch of Foxchain material as well as a Foxchain channel as well. If Foxchain is a brand new concept or term for you, there's a whole bunch of deep diving in a rabbit hole that you can go down about this new project that we're working on. M. Perklin is our workstream leader for the Foxchain, and we now have Coinbase Cloud as some additional support that's going to help us get this brand new IBC chain for kind of like a data feed for all blockchains, a decentralized data feed for all blockchains for the world. You know, it's got its own chain rules, its own validation set. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to talk much more on it other than the fact that we're super excited to have the support from Coinbase Cloud. And they've come in with a very nice, very professional proposal with lots of phases on what's to be expected and what's to happen post-launch and into the actual validation of Foxchain itself. So lots of resources out there if you're interested in learning more. Ping myself, ping Willy Fox, ping M. Perklin, and we can set you down the rabbit hole with some videos and some resources so you can get caught up. Next on the list, we have John with SCP-69 and the ShapeShift DAO to DAO ecosystem treasury. This is kind of a big one here with lots of moving pieces. So I'm going to have John kind of explain where we are here now and what the future of this past proposal means for the DAO.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. So yeah, this proposal officially passed with strong support early this morning, technically. So really awesome to see that and the support from the community. Myself, Kent, and Willy, as the first elected committee for this sub-DAO, had a brief meeting this morning on some of the next steps. So there's kind of some procedural things that we need to get through over the next week, including setting up the sub-DAO's Gnosis safe, making sure that's set up correctly. We'll be working a little bit with Mr. Nerdhair to make sure that that's all done securely and at least getting his advice. And then on top of that, we're looking at, minting the initial VFox itself. That will again be 90% held by the DAO treasury, and the remaining 10% will be held in the sub-DAO treasury. So we're getting through those mechanical items. We talked about some of that today. We talked about what's going to look like with cadence of meetings and how we start engaging the community and just basically starting this whole thing. So likely we're going to be setting up, we'll have more info on this next week after we've had a little more time to just process and get some of these things going. But there will likely be a bi-weekly community call that we start getting going, where we talk about what's going on with VFox and also present an opportunity for anyone who wants to contribute or bring a potential opportunity to the VFox's attention to those meetings. So we'll have a lot more info in that first meeting. Probably won't be next week, but maybe the week after. We'll communicate more and put it on the schedule as soon as we're ready. But yeah, we're going forward full force. We've already got some potential opportunities to look at, and we're going to get through this process of setting up all the mechanical points. But yeah, expect to hear a lot more from us. And if you're interested to be involved or just to learn more, definitely pay attention to when those public meetings get scheduled. And yeah, we'll be in there every other week. And of course, if you have anything else or just want to talk to us even offline of a meeting, feel free to reach out to me, Kent, Willy, or any combination of us, and we're always happy to chat. But really excited to see this moving forward, and I hope we're going to show to the community how powerful of a force this can be for the DAO.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that there's going to be a community call, and that you guys will be fielding community members if they've got any interesting ideas. This is definitely one where we'll be able to use all of our combined powers across all the DAOs we're connected with to find the best investments.
Yeah, I mean, I think the strength of this thing is going to be the community, is going to be that this is a truly, kind of decentralized sub-DAO that can allocate in this way. Not only will you be able to contribute if you want to stay up to date, our goal is to make it so that anyone who wants can come and actually earn. Basically, there should be incentives in place that if someone brings a deal to the table, they'll either earn some VFox or something like that. We'll talk more about that. We need to kind of get our heads together on what that's going to look like. And that might even have to go to VFox governance before we get such a program in place. But we have some good ideas on that front, and I think it's going to be an awesome feedback loop where anyone in the community can come and be rewarded if they bring a great opportunity to the table.
And then will VFox be using the same sort of snapshot setup for its own voting if it's required to do so?
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit today. So the stack will be very, we're not gonna have, we don't have any need for like colony or anything, but the setup with Gnosis and snapshot will be very similar, potentially even with a safe snap, although we may not need that as much in this case, but it will be very similar. At first, really, the way this is going to work, a lot of things won't need VFox governance, like individual allocations are not necessarily going to go to VFox governance because the committee's empowered to do that, and that'll be via committee vote. But if we want to do something like set up this new program, or we want to change the structure, or we want to replace the committee or extend their term or any of these things, those are the types of things that will go to VFox governance. And in process, really, this will just be it will just kind of happen in ShapeShiftDAO governance. Because ShapeShiftDAO is really the only voter that matters, at least at the beginning, it will probably happen through ShapeShiftDAO governance to basically say, how should we vote on this VFox proposal? It'll be discussed, and then if it gets voted in by the DAO, then the DAO will just vote with its VFox and essentially enshrine it in VFox governance via snapshot. So we'll have a lot more details on that, but mechanically, you can kind of think about it as the DAO itself has all of this ultimate control, and any important discussions will happen at the DAO level.
Awesome. And then my last question was going to be, is there an async channel dedicated to all of these conversations or channels? And if so, are they inside tokenomics, or are they going to have their own dedicated space? Do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, we haven't even got that far yet. I think setting up a channel would make a lot of sense. So we probably will get that set up. We'll talk with Giantkin about that. Willy's in Austin right now, and we just need to coordinate a little bit, but probably early next week. In the meantime, feel free to come just talk in the tokenomics public channel, and we can talk about stuff there. But yeah, eventually we'll probably get this its own sub channel.
Awesome. Very exciting, John. Super stoked around all the opportunities that this will present to us and the ways in which we can go back to that early stage of ShapeShift, jumping in on these early projects before while we've got the alpha, So that feels like the old times.
Hell yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thanks, community, for the support.
Thank you, John. All right. So that is it for all of the proposals that we currently have that are in Boardroom or Snapshot. We did hear an update from the Boardroom folks that Ideation is being worked on. So that 2 weeks TM, should be just 2 more weeks, We'll see when we get there. In the meantime, we're still using the forum as our holdover for all of the ideation phases here. There was a proposal that passed 2 weeks ago that really defined all of the time, the term limits and the time limits on the min and max of where you need to be for moving a post from ideation all the way over to vote. So if you have any questions about that, there is a form proposal template here that shows you how to do it, as well as Mrs. proposal from a couple of proposals ago that clearly defines our entire governance process. And last, we've got some slides for some new posts. We don't have anything that's in ideation yet, but we've got one, I didn't get the title on there, that draft proposal. We've got one draft proposal that's about to go to ideation there at the end for TFNS. And it doesn't look like he's in the crowd, but maybe we can get everyone else and then I'll jump into his last. Do we have LPX one screen, please, for Willy Fox out there? I'll send you an invite, LPX. GM LPX, glad to have you. I'm sure it's probably super early where you are, but thanks for joining us on the call.
It's actually morning here, so.
So actual GM to you, sir.
Yeah, I think Marley went over pretty much the high-level overview of what it is. I guess I'll explain why I saw the need for this tool, I guess. First of all, it's a fork. It's using a new module in the Cosmos SDK called Auth-Z. So it's technically still beta, but from what I can tell, it's pretty safe. Yeah. So the reason for the fork was, well, first of all, I wanted to see the viability and to see if it actually worked. And eventually refactor the fork into the ShapeShift platform as a plugin. So I thought it'd be a pretty good, I guess, early test case for how future plugins can also be integrated into the platform. So I'll probably be talking to engineering and product regarding this. But yeah, everything's going pretty smoothly. And yeah, so the fork is from EcoStake, and we're on their platform as well. So so it's not like we're trying to steal their thunder, but right now, yeah, a lot of validators are catching on to this auto compound thing. So there's also a sense of urgency, and in the Umee validator case, it worked out pretty well in our favor because we were the second validator for Umee that had the auto compounding feature, and that resulted in the onboarding of 47 delegators that are auto compounding. So, long term, yeah, if you think long term, all that auto compounds, I think it could help with the DAO's revenue. And yeah, just try to get as many delegations as possible early on.
Awesome. This sounds great. And definitely, I'm not sure where product and engineering lie on how we were going to get our validators into ShapeShift. So I'm not sure if maybe even DeFi would be able to come up here and speak for a second on how we'd be able to get this into our timeline as well. But this is an amazing tool, and I super am impressed by how quickly you were able to spin this up. GM DeFi, have you had a chance to check out this auto compounding tool?
I haven't yet, no. Let me have a quick look. Probably not the best forum for me to investigate something and comment on it.
That's very
cool. There's a few other things we have to do with the globalization stream as well. Like we've got the translations went in, and engineering's got to help pick a tool there to keep those up to date. So yeah, but I love the work that LPX is doing with globalization across the board. I can't seem to get the Zoom link to open. There we go. Let me take a look at this offline, and we can comment on it another time. What we could do there.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I definitely think this might be something we can look into, especially if we had hopes of bringing all of the staking and validating into the ShapeShift app. Maybe even this auto compounding tool can be snuck in there as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be very much a question for product. Once all that staking and validating stuff is in for Cosmos, I don't see a reason we can't do auto compounding stuff.
I see you hopped up here too, Marley. Anything else you would like to add some color or context to?
Oh, I just think that this is so cool. I was turned on to Auth-Z by someone else recently, and I haven't had a chance to play with it. And he totally beat me to it. The LPX did. It's such a powerful module, and this tool is super cool. I think that it's great on its own, and I think it could be a great way to integrate into the ShapeShift platform eventually. Especially if like we already have staking in there, you could like add an Auth button to like auto compound or something. It's really cool in my mind. So I just wanted to throw out some support.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, this is an amazing tool, and thanks for the alpha LPX. And it looks like maybe we'll be able to line this one up in the roadmap and coordinate next steps beyond this. I'm not sure what your communication with engineering looks like, but it sounds like we've got some collaboration we could use on getting those translations up and starting this conversation. So I'd love to make sure we can facilitate that as soon as possible.
All right, cool.
Sweet, sweet. Well, thank you for the tool, sir. And I'm sure that the delegators who are already using this, thank you as well. So appreciate the hard work that you're doing for the Fox fam and for the Fox ecosystem. It's great to see you just go out and grab something that's so cutting edge new and build on it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
GM.
Thank you, GM, sir. It doesn't look like we have any of the other authors of the posts here with us in the audience, so I can do my best to kind of run through these. Willy Fox did post a how to offer bounty to integrate your feature with app.shapeshift.com, and this is more specific guidelines for how to get integrated inside app.shapeshift.com. We've had a couple of bounties that have come in from other projects, and we've done our best to accommodate the proposals as we've kind of been building our processes through. And this is a much needed refinement to allow us to really start scaling and growing and allowing other projects to come in here and not having all of our proposals be so by foxes for foxes. So this is just the very start of it. It's more of a template to allow people to begin to start doing this. And all of the details are inside that post here. We have two other posts as well. There's a for Fox's considerations, stakingrewards.com, and it doesn't look like one screen please is here. But if I could quickly summarize it, it is a ask for some funds for us to be integrated into stakingrewards.com, and they look like they've got some good backing, but they also look like they're not the best at communicating their metrics on what they can provide to us for it. So there is quite a lengthy conversation that's been had with members of marketing and growth in this team. I believe engineering maybe even also weighed in a little bit as well. We haven't had them join us here to actually talk with the community. Perhaps we can encourage them in that post to come here and talk with us. I know Hunt feels very strongly that the community should not be involved with this. I think that there's some other people that are trying to get some more information around this, but as it gets updated, as we find out more about what's going on with this one, then we will keep it going. Maybe this is one that we can help shape into an actual proposal that could get some votes, or maybe this is one that kind of dies in this early stage. The last post that I have that we have to talk about, I'm sorry, the title's so horrible in my slides, is a draft proposal for treasury funds in the new Bancor 3. I'm not sure if Bancor 3 is new, actually. Someone will have to fact check me on that. But this is a single-sided liquidity proposal to have us put our Fox into the Bancor protocol. Right now, the Bancor Fox pool only has $7,000 of liquidity in it, and it's not attracting very much volume with that. So this is a proposal that dives in a little bit into both what Bancor 3 is going to be and the improvements that are on there, and what it would be like for us to have a Fox be there as well. This is an interesting one. I'm not sure if maybe Kent might want to weigh in on this. this feels like it's straddling the lines of maybe a full governance proposal, or perhaps even just a TDMC conversation or vote. I feel like we're really still developing our rules on where the line in the sand is between those things. I know that there's some kind of bigger buckets of you guys have your budgets and things like that. But when it comes to delegating to farming and things like that, I'm still open, at least I guess I'm saying personally. This is a conversation to go all the way through governance, or if this is a TDMC conversation as well. Not sure if there's any committee members out there that would like to weigh in as well. But this is the start of that draft. Yeah, I guess if we're just making all of these Fox members aware of this, would love to have some communication and some feedback in the forum post when you're all able to check it out and take a look at it. This could be a unique proposal for us to make our passive treasury earn some more income. And it might be a good one to support other projects out there in terms of providing liquidity and increasing the Fox LP pool ecosystem as well. So there is our proposals. I do not have anything else other than space for room questions and DeFi Cafe as well. So if you and I want to chat about things, I'm happy to chat with you here too.
Let's just do a one-on-one, like live. No, I was actually an update from engineering post the retreat and just as it relates to the bounty stuff that Willy has up as well.
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so engineering had a retreat last week up in the mountains of Colorado, which was great. We actually took some footage from that will be a marketing video kind of surrounding the ShapeShift DAO and things related to Foxchain as well. It was great. It wasn't just the Workstream. We also had cameo appearances from Willy on behalf of product. We had M. Perklin came up and talked about Foxchain. We had people from the foundation there as well. So really good crowd. We basically spent 2 full days talking about engineering architecture and mindset as it relates to sort of scaling engineering and how we can basically engineering spend less time on feature work and more time on the groundwork and architecture so we can get things bountied out to the community, both smaller tasks and these larger tasks. So engineering has like a process document for that. And Linum Labs is actually going to be the first bounty hunter to take on this larger bounty in the form of YAT. That was one of the things that passed the governance process very early on in the DAO days, but it was just never really highly prioritized on our internal product roadmap. So, that was just kind of sitting there lingering with this money ready to be taken. Obviously, users still want this stuff. So it's kind of a win-win-win. YAT gets their feature integrated, the DAO gets more stuff out to the users, bounty hunters get to take on work, and we deepen relationships there with the community. We also get to basically trial our engineering integration guide with Linum Labs, who we already have an existing relationship with, which is great. And product gets to oversee this as well. So hopefully this goes well. I'm sure working with them, it will. And any learnings from that, we're going to apply to update the process and figure out how we can make that go more smoothly for future integrators. But yeah, generally, the mindset talk that we gave was about moving away from being implementers as engineers and moving more towards being owners and maintainers and architects. Really looking forward, looking out into the future of how we can do that and how the product and engineering strategy is going to morph towards this like open source kind of app store thing as a very big pie in the sky picture, which product is largely on board with as well. So that was great. And just in terms of features today, brand new transaction page is going to be live in production in a couple of minutes. It's deploying right now. I just YOLO'd that out with products, with operations help. Thanks to your team, Tyler. And there is a fiat ramps are coming to the new open source app. I think we're going to flick the flag on tomorrow. But you'll be able to buy and sell crypto for fiat through the open source version, which is just one small step towards feature parity with the previous version. So that's super exciting stuff. Brand new transaction page that should appear within a couple of minutes live in web, and we should be seeing fiat ramps tomorrow as well. So that's the update that I wanted to give from engineering.
Awesome. Thanks, DeFi, for coming in. And I'm mad jealous I wasn't out there with you guys, but I'm super glad you were able to put your heads together and get all of that. This evolution that the DAO is doing is something I've been anxious and excited for a long time, and can't wait to see how we're going to continue to evolve.
And as I finish speaking, we're live. So if you refresh app.shapeshift.com, there's now a full transaction history page. Any transactions that don't pass, hit up product, ask them for a bounty, or PR's welcome. So yeah,
Awesome.
I'll jump off the stage.
Well, thanks, DeFi. And thanks to all of our presenters who came on to chat about their concepts and their ideas. It sounds like we do have quite a bit of them that could use community interaction, discussion, and feedback. So if you get a chance at some point this week, maybe over the weekend, hop on over to the Fox forum, give some likes, give some comments, respond where you can. Maybe you can be the one that helps us get this next proposal over the finish line, and you can have some part in making a piece of the ShapeShift app or the ShapeShift DAO. So thank you all for joining us for another governance call. It's great to see that we're getting through these quicker and quicker. We even had John up on stage and we didn't go for a full hour. So seems like we are changing and things are evolving.
Shots fired.
Well, GM all, I appreciate you all for being here and for making this DAO what it is. We wouldn't be here without you. So if I didn't say it before, I'll say it now. Make it a good GM.
GM.